everyone. I have my friend here as a guest, Carla Pope, to speak on a very important issue of the issue of being a professional mom. And Carla is an amazing mom of two kids. She's a wife. She has also built a career and for herself prior to working with SGRO. She's worked with People Magazine, Parade Magazine, Time Inc. Wow, those are big brands, my friend.
Thank you.
I think you've done so well for yourself career-wise. How do you do it as a mom? How do you put all these things together? How do you get things going?
Well, first, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
those kind words.
Thank you for joining us.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it really isn't easy, but with the support and help from, they say it takes a village, it really takes a village. Like, I have neighbors that help me with the kids sometimes. I have colleagues like you, will help me, if there's something at work that I need to be done and I can't be here. It really does take a village, and we can't do it all. You know what I mean? Like, there's that saying like, oh, women, we can do it all. Yeah, we all know we can, but honestly, why should we? We can't kill ourselves. If there's someone there who can help us, like, we have to have the confidence to ask for help. And
Wow.
I mean, it really, it's not easy, but it's doable, and it's so enjoyable, and I love being a mom, and I love working. So
I can imagine. I love watching you be a mom every time I see your kids online. And I really want to point out the fact that you said, as women, we can do it all. That's fact.
yes,
But why do it all when we have people who can actually support us?
exactly.
Even I think there's this notion and pressure on us that we have to have it together. We have to be the one that does everything, But it's okay to
It's
ask
okay.
for help.
It's okay. I mean, because if I didn't ask for help, both would suffer, like my career and my children. So you just have to ask for help.
Wow. And I hope viewers out there is listening to this. You have to ask for help when you need it. And there are people, especially when there are people there who really love you, who really are there for your good interest. They're there to support you. Why not tap into that support system?
Yes.
And let them help you go through the process together.
And whether that's at home or at work, you just need that relationship. that you
Relationship
feel-
is
yeah,
key. The
relationship
village.
is key.
Need
Yes.
your village everywhere you go.
Yes.
And that's a key point. And in your experience, what are some of the challenges? I know you have a village everywhere, but besides that, what are some of the challenges you faced as a professional mom? I know there are a few other women out there, even many women, if I don't want to limit it, who are trying the same thing, whether it's being a professional or having a business, at the same time still keeping it together at home, making sure the kids are lacking, their partners are not lacking from the relationship they have, but they're at the verge of like, you know what, I have to give up my career, my business. I have to give up something for the other one to work. But you are a clear example that you can actually do it all and do it well.
Thank you.
What are some of the tips you have for them?
Well, first and foremost, I feel like structure is so important. If you don't have structure, everything will just fall apart. I can recall back when I was a freelancer and I stayed at home and my son was under the age of 2. If you can imagine, like, being on a call and then like your 18-month-old is like, at your knee or whatever. It was a really hectic time in my life, but I realized that I didn't have the structure. I needed to have like a sitter to come in and like assist me with him, or I could go to a coffee shop or a co-working space or somewhere like that to give me the opportunity to really still thrive in my career, but yet still have that support. And it goes back to support again, but structure really is key. Like, you need to really stick to like an organized schedule to keep everything in place.
And I have to quickly point that out for the viewers out listening to this, that structure isn't just something you need as a parent.
No.
Even if that's key for the kids to thrive or for you to thrive at your work, structure is something that we individually need around ourselves, our life, whether it's our daily, like even me as a single person. Structure is something that I feel keeps me going.
Exactly.
It's key to success. And I'm really glad you brought that up.
Yeah, it's been without structure, I don't know where I would be today, honestly. Like, yeah. And the kids, they really thrive in structured environments. I feel like you have a set bedtime. I'm always confused when people say, like, how do you get your kids to bed on time? Like, you have to implement it early, you know?
Yeah.
Like, structure is key.
Early structure is
Yes.
key.
Early
Because
structure.
it's true, because I feel if you don't start the structure early, it becomes more difficult to implement
Exactly.
them, and then everything just becomes a chaos, and that's probably why people get to the point of quitting.
Exactly.
However,
Yes.
I would think, now that you've heard from my friend Carla, it's never too late to implement your structure. So I'll quickly move into the next question, knowing that there are a few inspiring young ladies who are thriving at their career right now, and also hoping down the road, myself included, that they will have a family tomorrow. And there's this fear and there's this notion that to really have a successful family and raise a kid and have that husband, it requires 100% of your time, and that might actually impact your work. And I don't think that's true, but I would like to hear from you, from your experience. Do you think a lady or a woman or whoever it is needs to fulfill their career for their home, or their home for their career?
No, I agree with you. I don't feel like you should put one off or the other. I had my first child at the age of 30, and I was like mid-career, I guess, and I never felt as though, oh, this is a bad time, or, you know, I mean, I did have him in the back of my mind, but I was like, you know what, there is never going to be like an ideal time. I'm like, get this promotion, or, you know, I want to have a child by 35, you know, just putting those constraints in your life just isn't for the best. And I feel like there's never going to be the right time for both. Like, you just have to make it work. And I feel like I've done it, my mom did it, like so many women do it, you know, like if that's something that you want to do, like become a mom, I mean, it is a really challenging job, but it's so fulfilling.
There's no vacation too.
There's
That's
no
scary.
vacation. There's no vacation. But I mean, the benefits are like boundless. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you can do both. You can really, I mean, again, it goes back to the structure and the support system.
It's interesting. You've really brought out like important points in our conversation. One, you have to have the support system. Don't ever forget that. Tap into as many support systems as you can that truly have your interest in mind. And secondly, you pointed you have to have a structure, and you just pointed out that there's never the right time.
Never.
The right time is whenever you start. You know, you just have to start getting things done, and you see it all works together.
Yes.
And before I let you go, because this would be a miss if I don't ask, I feel like we've talked about career women, but there are other people out there, whether they are men, women, young lady, boy, girl, whoever they are, who never got the opportunity to actually do the dream, get to their dreams, whether it's finishing their school, whether it's starting a business they've always wanted to start, you know, anything that their dream was, and at this point in their life, they're like, I don't think I can ever do it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I can ever do it. But you mentioned starting is the point where you do it. Like, what do you have to tell those people?
It's never too late. Like, if you have a goal that you want to achieve, it doesn't matter if you're 15 or 50. Like, you can still do it as long as you have breath in your body. Like, I feel like the opportunities are still there for you. Like, you can never give up. Like, my sister is always like, oh, I wish I could have done this or whatever, and she's only like 53. I'm like, you can still do those things. Like, there's nothing holding you back but yourself. Like, and also I know with social media, you know, there's like so many comparison. It's so much out there online that you can feel like, oh, I'm behind, or I can never compare to that person. Like, that person started 10 years ago, and how am I starting just like 5 days ago? Like, you can't fall into that trap of comparison. Like, that's a no-no.
I have to agree with you on that. Although I'm not a mom, but just life experiences, you know, it has actually taught me that people, out of fear of like, this person started years ago, you know, they don't want to start small. You know, by the time you start today, it's like small compared to the other person that started 10 years ago. But that's a limitation, because
Yes.
immediately you start to think about that, the fact that you started today doesn't determine how successful you're going to be tomorrow.
No.
And the fact that you started 10 years ago doesn't mean you're going to be more successful than the person that started today.
Exactly.
So if you didn't finish your school 10 years ago, you can finish now and become a professor.
Yeah.
The person
You
that
just-
finished 10 years ago can do nothing. You know?
Exactly.
Like,
You
just have
never
to
know.
start.
You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so true.
amazing. That's amazing. I think we've learned so much from you, Carla. We've learned to have a
Thank you.
support system.
Mhm.
We've also learned to make sure we build our village. You know,
Yes.
to not do it alone. It's not okay to do it alone. That's where you break. That's where you quit.
Yep.
We've also learned that we also need to have a structure.
Yes.
Will-
Absolutely.
That's key.
That's so key.
I have a structure, but I'm going to get better. If I'm
Get
going to
better.
have more kids.
Definitely.
Then you also pointed out that it's never too late to start,
It's never too late.
and don't compare.
Comparison is like the thief of joy for sure.
It's been a blessing having you on this
Thank
talk
you
show,
so
and I hope
much.
somewhere down the line we can have you again come in and talk
Absolutely.
to us about the
Anytime.
amazing work you're doing and all
Thank
the
you.
amazing things you're doing with your kids. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for being here.
Thanks.
Bye.